So, looks like we're starting a new career playthrough because I actually want to hop on this F1 2020 create your own team wagon. I mean seriously, it's cool now that we can make your own team to fill in the 2 spaces that F1 used to have. So I have done an F1 game career playthrough before on this channel, but that was F1 2016, so that was about 4 years ago. And now compared to that, there's been a lot of things that are going to be new to me, like interviews and more things that they added after F1 2017. So let's get into this career mode.
Welcome to my team. Here, you'll experience the world of Formula One not only as a driver, but as the owner of a brand new F1 team. First things first, let's choose your character.
So I already made most of my character. Let me just show you what I got done. That's him, that's gonna be me. Here's a helmet I made. I got the Mexican flag colors and it's low-key looks like a luchador mask. Now what haven't I worked out is the suit, and for the suit I'm going to match it with the car as well. Now let's see what I can think of. So here's what I made. What are these colors, you ask? Well, I based these colors from my channel's profile picture, as it's the background. I did make the beige more yellow because the beige kinda look ugly, not gonna lie. Okay, driver's glove. I'm gonna make them just the same as the color of the suit. There we go. Look at that beauty. For the character poses, I have it set to this because this posture right here is a symbol of strength, a symbol of power, a symbol with deep meaning. Alright, now to the most important part of creating your team, naming it. So since I'm already basing this on my channel with the colors, it's appropriate to name this after my channel. I decided to turn it into an acronym, TNP, and then Motorsport. There we go, TNP Motorsport ready for action.
Nice. Now, some kind of income stream is critical, so we need to sign a primary sponsor. Our primary sponsor will pay a signing bonus to the team up front. This is vital to cover the early investments we need to make. They will also provide valuable weekly income for us. Each sponsor has a goal that they want the team to achieve. If we hit that goal, the sponsor will pay us an additional goal bonus.
For the sponsor, since it's a new team and it probably won't have a good start, I'm gonna go with the first one here since the goal is just to complete the season and I don't know who my teammate's going to be, so I'm not risking it to get the top 10 constructors goal.
Fantastic. Now we've got a budget to work with. Our car won't be going anywhere fast without a power unit, so let's sign a power unit supplier now. We need both performance and durability from our power unit, but we also need to balance the books. We're going to have a lot of other areas to invest our cash into.
Okay, engine supplier, which one of you ain't going to screw me over? As much as I want to go with Ferrari because it's the top of the line, I'm going to be left with just 100 grand and I still need to sign up a teammate, so I'm going to go with Mercedes.
We almost have all the key partners for our team now, but we still need a teammate for you. These are the drivers available to be your first teammate. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses, so consider everything when deciding who to hire. Drivers earn acclaim based on their performances. When a driver earns enough acclaim, they will level up. The higher a driver's level, the more acclaim they'll earn for their current team. And remember, the faster the team levels up, the faster our income will increase. The higher a driver's experience, the more resource points are earned to spend on vehicle upgrades. Racecraft is the driver's skill to effectively complete overtakes when opportunities arise. Awareness shows the driver's ability to avoid errors and incidents. Pace describes the driver's ability to set competitive lap times. Rating is a summary of the driver's overall skill level.
Okay, I really only have one choice for driver with the budget I have left. I'm gonna hire this guy who has a last name I'm not gonna try to pronounce.
Let's select or edit the livery we'll be running this season. We can add more sponsors to the car as we sign them throughout the year. And don't worry, we can edit our look at any time from HQ.
Right, now to edit the car.
Now we need a badge for our team branding. Select an existing badge, edit it, or create one from scratch.
That's not what I meant to do. Okay, after looking through different kinds of liveries and how the team colors would look like, I made my decision with this one. You know, something looks oddly familiar with these colors on the car, but I can't put my finger on it. Now onto the team badge. Here's what I made. I just went with this logo and then put the colors of the team on it. Right, I think that's everything we have to customize. Okay, so we are of course going to do the whole F1 season. That's gonna be 22 races, hopefully enough for me to catch up to the top teams in performance. This is how the races are going to be laid out. Practice is of course mandatory, then a short qualifying, and for the races I'll have them at 25%. Okay, here we go. This is where the real F1 journey begins.
Okay, we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Hello folks, and welcome to the HQ of Formula One's newest team. We've been invited backstage to gain an exclusive insight into what could be one of the most exciting entries in the sport for many years. Now, we've seen a number of new teams enter the sport over the last decade, amongst their number Manor, Caterham, HRT and of course Haas. And while some have proved to be successful, others have morphed into different teams and some have disappeared completely. What marks this team out though as being something different is that its owner is also its driver. Now, there's a rich history of that in Formula One too. Sir Jack Brabham, John Surtees, Graham Hill and Bruce McLaren all drove their own cars in the sport, but it has become increasingly rare in recent years. What's very special about this team though is that while the team itself is new to Formula One, so too is its driver and owner.
Whatever happens this season, you've already made the history books. Tell me, do you feel up to the mammoth task of both managing and driving for a Formula One team? Every team needs two drivers, but what was it that drew you to your teammates? No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team you're aiming to beat? How are you expecting the car to feel out on track? The other teams now have years of experience, both on and off the track. How are you planning to catch up to them? Overtaking is a key part of this sport. How have you ensured that your car can take advantage of each opportunity that comes your way? And finally, which of your new departments are you most proud of?
Well, that's about all we've got time for here. We will see how this fledgling team fares in its first Grand Prix.
Okay, great, thank you. That's a wrap.
Great interview, boss. You nailed exactly what the team's been working on. When you've got time, check the R&D tree to see our current progress and where we think there's room for more. And while you're at it, why not take a stroll around HQ and check on how the team's doing?
You know, now I know what the colors remind me of. They look like the colors of the Colombian and Venezuelan and Ecuadorian flag, god dang it. Oh, let's just forget I ever said that, so we don't see it that way. Okay, so the way I'm going to construct these videos is in the videos I won't include the practice sessions and cut to the qualifying. I think I'll include the qualifying in my videos and then we go to the race.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You really went all out in practice today. Are you testing new components? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip? Appreciate your time.
Alright, qualifying. I've been getting to know this track again because the last time I raced here was back in F1 2017. Well, here we go to our debut qualifying.
That's the fastest lap so far. Well done. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty. for fuel now. The tank is empty. Our best lap so far is a 1:23.1. Track is quiet right now. Let's get out on track while it's clear. Minutes to go.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Bottas, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Right, it's time for the TMP Motorsports debut race. I got the car up there in the top 10 and now it's time to show what this baby can do. Well, here we go to the Australian Grand Prix.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to Melbourne for the opening race of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to the Australian Grand Prix. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. Can Mercedes start with victory in their bid to win a 7th consecutive Constructors' title? Could Ferrari or Red Bull establish an advantage early on? And with 22 cars on the grid, how quickly can the new team find their footing? Well, it's great to be back, Anthony Davidson. We've got a lot to talk about this year.
That's right, Crofty. It felt like a long winter, but it's good to finally be back. I have to think the usual suspects will battle it out at the front, but there are always going to be some teething problems early on in the season, so whoever can keep on top of their issues will have the advantage today.
As I mentioned earlier, we're up to 11 teams this season, with a new entry run by, well, of all things, an owner-driver. That's something we haven't seen in this sport since Hector Raback over 4 decades ago. So how are they looking so far?
It's hard to imagine how a small operation like that could survive in the ruthless world of Formula One, and yet here they are, first ever race looking surprisingly strong. But there are no points for qualifying. Let's see how they fare in the Grand Prix proper.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, and Albon, Sainz, Joker, Ricciardo, and Esteban Ocon, Kvyat, Perez, Lando Norris, and Stroll, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, and Kevin Magnussen, Grosjean, Russell, Raghunathan, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please. Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Alright, the start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch. Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. Use your overtake button more, it's time to utilize some of this energy. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Confirmed. To pit this lap, so push now. pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Gap to the car ahead is 9.9 seconds. Ricardo is stopping now. Mahavir is in the pits. Mahavir in the pits. leading our teammate by 16.5 seconds. Some information on Ricardo. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car. Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres. Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy. Gap to car in front is 3.3 seconds. Seconds is the gap between you and the next car. 3 seconds. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5.3 seconds. We need to catch up with the car ahead. The gap is around 5 seconds. The car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Right, some information on Grosjean. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car. Our gap to the car in front is 7.3 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Caution, caution. Green flag. race over, take care of the car on the way in.
Another superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Valtteri Bottas takes the top spot. He's our new Drivers' Championship leader after today's result. Now, let's discuss, Ant, who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day? Let's move on to the Constructors. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
And there we go, pretty good race for a newbie team. I went one position up, and my teammate went up as well in positions. Gotta say, in between practices I have been raising the difficulty. As you saw at the beginning, it was at 83, this was 90. I think it still needs tweaking for me. Okay guys, so there we go, our first race, and it went pretty good. Now to our next race will be at Bahrain, and hopefully the car will have some upgrades by that time. Well guys, enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.